Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review There's Always Tomorrow, the 1955 Douglas Sirk film that Kino Lorber will be releasing on Blu-ray August 25th, 2020. This is one of my favorite Douglas Sirk films that's probably considered B-side of his filmography. Came out the same year as Captain Lightfoot and All That Heaven Allows. Of course, All That Heaven Allows is a beloved masterpiece of soapy melodrama that's been remade several times by the likes of Fassbinder and Todd Haynes. But There's Always Tomorrow is for some reason something most people don't think about, and that's because I think it's not really a soapy melodrama, it's actually a very direct, blunt, subversive psychological drama. Reunites Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck, who of course starred in the iconic film noir masterpiece Double Indemnity. Barbara Stanwyck previously had worked with Douglas Sirk in 1953's All I Desire, which kind of has a similar plot. This one is set in Pasadena, California, and Fred MacMurray plays Clifford Groves, who owns a successful toy manufacturing shop. It's important to note that his toy developers have just made a talking, walking robot, which is something that he eventually compares himself to. He has 3 children with a loving wife, played by Joan Bennett, and the rosy glow of their marriage has kind of gone, with the children soaking up all of her attention, and he's just this neglected, sad kind of man. And even on his wife's birthday, he can't even have be allotted the time to take her out because she's off with the youngest doing ballet lessons, etc. Anyway, while his wife is out of the house at that on her birthday, in walks Norma Vale, played by Barbara Stanwyck. And I also really like the subtext of their names. He's a grove, part of this family unit, a grove of trees per se, and she's this vale, this empty valley. She is a widow. They knew each other once 20 years prior. She used to work for him and has since become a successful designer in New York. She has her own successful company. She's a self-made woman, which is an anomaly for depictions we'd see of women in 1955. But she's also lonely, and she's kind of rekindling a flirtation with Fred MacMurray. And through a series of circumstances, much like those annoying children in All That Heaven Allows, his oldest son starts doing some meddling, played by William Reynolds, an actor that I'm most familiar with for The Thing That Couldn't Die, which is a very fun Mystery Science Theater track to that one. And Pat Crowley as his fiancée, Anne, in her defense of Fred MacMurray is actually rather touching. It's just a very straightforward drama about stale marriages and potential grass is always greener syndrome. That there's no great tragedy. They decide not to be together at the end, and he's watching her plane in the sky as she flies off back to New York, and he decides to stay with Joan Bennett, a woman he isn't particularly unhappy with. It's just the children have usurped all the attention. It's just a very sobering portrait of marriage that I think is very ahead of its time for what it's suggesting about the attention people want and seek, and the limited roles of men and women. Fred MacMurray does come across as a little spoiled. Joan Bennett really does everything, and he's just sad that no one's there to pay attention to him. But I really like the Barbara Stanwyck character. It's just this, and of course her wardrobe, everything's very impeccable. It does feel like a Douglas Sirk film, but it's very sobering Douglas Sirk. A lot of the weird dysfunctional frills we usually see in some of his narrative choices aren't really there. But overall, I would give the film 4 out of 5 stars, and Kino Lorber's release of it 3 out of 5. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.